Welcome to Judge It, where we rip the mask off justice and stare down its ugly scars. Today's Hidden Tales episode dives into a story that'll make your blood boil. A white cop in Atlanta targets a black man for no reason other than the color of his skin. It's 2015, and Daniel Carter's just trying to live his life, until a routine traffic stop turns into a nightmare of profiling and power trips. Was this justice? Or just another day in America? Grab a seat. We're about to unpack a tale that hits hard and leaves questions nobody wants to answer. Daniel Carter's a 34-year-old electrician, a single dad raising two boys in Atlanta's Vine City neighborhood. He's no saint, got a speeding ticket once, but he keeps his nose clean, works overtime to pay the bills. On May 12, 2015, he's driving home from a late shift, his beat-up Chevy humming along Marietta Street. It's 11 p.m., streetlights flickering, when blue lights flash in his rearview. Officer Greg Harlan, a 40-year-old white cop with Atlanta PD, signals him to pull over. Daniel sighs, figures it's a tail light or something. He's wrong. This stop's about to spiral into something much uglier. Harlan approaches, flashlight blinding, voice sharp. License and registration, he snaps. Daniel hands them over, calm as he can manage. "What's the problem, officer?" he asks. Harlan doesn't answer, just stares at the license, then at Daniel, like he's sizing up prey. "Step out of the car," Harlan orders. No explanation, no cause. Daniel hesitates, knows his rights, but complies. He's 6 feet 2 inches, broad-shouldered, black. In that moment, he feels like a target, not a citizen. Atlanta PD's own stats from 2015 show black drivers were 2.7 times more likely to be stopped than white ones. Coincidence? You tell me. The stop escalates fast. Harlan claims he smells weed. Daniel doesn't smoke, never has. "I don't consent to a search," Daniel says, voice steady. Harlan smirks, mutters something about probable cause, and starts tearing through the Chevy anyway. Nothing, no drugs, no weapons, just a toolbox and a kid's soccer ball. Harlan's pissed, like he expected a jackpot. "You got an attitude problem," he growls, shoving Daniel against the car, cuffs snapping tight. No Miranda rights read, no clear reason, just a vague, resisting charge slapped on later. Daniel's night just went from bad to hell. He's hauled to Fulton County Jail, booked, and tossed into a holding cell with a dozen others. His boys, 8 and 10, are with a neighbor who's blowing up his phone. Nobody knows where he is for hours. Atlanta PD's incident report says Daniel was belligerent and non-compliant. But a grainy dashcam clip, leaked months later by a whistleblower, shows different. Daniel's polite, hands visible, voice low. So why the cuffs? Why the charge? Was it just Harlan having a bad day? Or something deeper, something baked into the system? Let's pull back the curtain. In 2015, the Department of Justice dropped a report on racial bias in policing. Found black Americans were 3 times more likely to be arrested than white ones, even for minor or baseless stops. Atlanta wasn't immune. 60% of arrests that year were of black folks, despite them making up 54% of the city. Daniel wasn't an outlier. He was a statistic. But statistics don't spend nights in jail, miss work, or explain to their kids why dad didn't come home. Daniel did. So what happens when a man fights a system rigged against him? Let's find out. Daniel Carter's night in a Fulton County cell isn't just a bad memory. It's the start of a domino effect that threatens to topple his whole life. One baseless traffic stop, one white cop's power trip, and now he's facing charges that could cost him everything. But here's the real question. How does a system that claims protect and serve keep letting this happen? Stick around as we dig deeper into this Hidden Tales nightmare, because what's coming next isn't just unfair, it's a mirror to America's ugliest flaws. You won't believe where this story leads. Daniel spends 12 hours in that holding cell, cold, overcrowded, no call to a lawyer until dawn. His boss at the electrical company isn't happy. Daniel misses a big job, gets docked a day's pay. That's $150 gone, money meant for his boys' school supplies. When he finally gets out on a $1,000 bond, scraped together by his sister, he's got a court date in 4 weeks and a resisting arrest charge hanging over him. Atlanta PD's report doubles down, claims Daniel lunged at Officer Harlan. The dashcam says otherwise. No lunge, no aggression, just a black man asking why he's being searched. So what's the truth here? Here's where it gets messy. Daniel decides to fight the charge, can't afford not to. A guilty plea, even for a misdemeanor, could tank his electrician's license. Georgia's licensing board doesn't mess around with criminal behavior. He scrapes together $2,000 for a private lawyer. Public defenders are swamped, handling 150 cases each, per a 2015 Georgia Bar report. His lawyer, a scrappy guy named Malik Evans, smells a rat. Starts digging into Harlan's history. Turns out, Harlan's got a trail of complaints, 6 in 5 years, all from black or Latino drivers, all alleging excessive force or false charges. No convictions, though. Atlanta PD's internal reviews rarely stick. Pattern, or just bad luck. Court day looms, and Daniel's lawyer pushes for the dashcam footage to be admitted. Prosecutors drag their feet, say it's irrelevant since Harlan's testimony stands. But Malik's persistent. He gets the clip played in court. Jury sees it. Daniel's calm, compliant, hands up. Harlan's story starts cracking. His probable cause smells like we'd claimed doesn't hold up. No drugs found. No test done. So why'd he push so hard? Was it bias, boredom, or something uglier? Atlanta's 2015 policing stats might hint. Black residents were 2.5 times more likely to face use of force incidents than white ones, per city data. Numbers don't lie, but they don't testify either. The trial's a circus. Prosecutors paint Daniel as a troublemaker, bring up that old speeding ticket like it's a smoking gun. Daniel's lawyer counters with character witnesses, his pastor, his boss, even the neighbor who watched his kids that night. Jury's mixed. Half looks sympathetic, half bored. After 2 days, verdict comes. Not guilty on resisting arrest. Daniel exhales, thought he was free. Wrong. Prosecutors tack on a disorderly conduct fine, $500, for obstructing traffic during the stop. No evidence, just a parting jab. Daniel's broke now, legal fees, fines, lost wages. Ever wonder how not guilty can still feel like a punch in the gut? Outside court, Daniel's story spreads. Local activists pick it up, start a petition for Harlan's suspension. Social media buzzes with hashtag Justice for Daniel. A few blogs mention it. But Harlan? Still on duty, no repercussions. Atlanta PD says no evidence of misconduct. Daniel's back to work, but he's jumpy now. Checks his mirrors twice, avoids late drives. His boys ask why he looks so tired. He doesn't know how to explain. So what's the cost of one bad stop? A fine? A record? Or a piece of a man's peace? Daniel Carter thought winning in court would be the end. Turns out, it's just the beginning of a bigger fight. That not guilty verdict on resisting arrest doesn't erase the $500 disorderly conduct fine, or the fear that's now a passenger in his Chevy every time he drives. But here's where this hidden tale story takes a darker turn. Officer Greg Harlan doesn't let it go. When a cop's ego gets bruised, who pays the price? Spoiler, it's not the guy with the badge. Let's dive into the fallout, and it's uglier than you'd think. 3 months post-trial, Daniel's trying to rebuild, working extra shifts, dodging late-night drives. But Harlan's got him in his sights. Turns out, Harlan's been cruising Vine City more than usual. Locals notice, whisper about it at the barber shop. One night, Daniel's grabbing milk from a corner store when Harlan rolls up. No reason, just checking things out. Didn't I see you in court? Harlan sneers, hand on his holster. Daniel freezes, nods, keeps it cool. Stay out of trouble, Harlan says, but it sounds like a threat. Dashcam's off this time. No proof, just a chill down Daniel's spine. Word spreads. Harlan's got a grudge. Daniel's neighbor, a nosy type named Ms. Clara, says she saw Harlan parked near Daniel's apartment twice that week, just watching. Harassment? Sure looks like it. But Atlanta PD's complaint process is a joke. Takes 90 days to investigate, and only 5% of excessive force claims stuck in 2015 per city stats. Daniel files one anyway, writes it out himself, hands shaking. Response: under review. Months pass, nothing changes. Ever wonder what protect and serve means when the target's painted on your back? Then it escalates. 6 months after the trial, Daniel's pulled over again, this time by Harlan's partner, Officer Tim Brooks. Same script, smelled weed. No evidence, another search. Nothing found. But Brooks writes a $200 ticket for obstructed license plate. Daniel's plate was fine, just dusty. Daniel's lawyer, Malik, smells retaliation, says it's a pattern. They file a civil suit against Harlan and Atlanta PD for harassment, racial profiling. Risky move. Lawsuits like this rarely win. DOJ stats from 2015 show only 3% of police misconduct suits succeed. Cops have qualified immunity, a legal shield most can't pierce. The suit gets traction, though local news bites, runs a segment. Atlanta dad says cop targets him. Social media erupts. Hashtag Justice for Daniel trends again, stronger this time. Activists rally outside City Hall, demand Harlan's badge. Atlanta PD doubles down. No evidence of wrongdoing. But Malik digs up more. Harlan's got 9 complaints now, 7 from black men, 2 alleging planted evidence. One case settled out of court, $10,000 hush money, per court records. So why's he still on the beat? Good question. Maybe because Atlanta's use of force reviews are done in-house. Cops policing cops. Sound fair to you? Daniel's life keeps unraveling. The stress hits hard. Migraines, sleepless nights. His oldest boy, 10, starts acting out at school. Says kids call his dad a thug after seeing the news. Daniel's job's on thin ice too. Boss says clients don't like the drama. All from one stop, one cop, one grudge. In 2016, a study by the American Psychological Association found black men face weathering stress from racial profiling, higher rates of anxiety, hypertension, even early death. Daniel's not a stat, he's a father. But stats don't feel the weight. He does. Here's the kicker. The suit drags on. 2 years, no verdict yet. Harlan's promoted to sergeant in 2017, gets a pay bump. Daniel's broke from legal fees, barely holding on. So who's winning here? The system that lets this slide, or the man fighting to breathe free? Think hard, because Daniel's story isn't rare. It's just one we caught before it faded into the noise. It's 2019, 4 years since that traffic stop, and Daniel Carter's civil suit against Officer Greg Harlan finally hits a courtroom. The evidence is damning. Dashcam footage, complaint records, witness accounts of harassment. But Atlanta PD's got deep pockets and deeper defenses. Qualified immunity shields Harlan from most claims. After weeks of testimony, the judge rules. Daniel wins a symbolic victory, $15,000 settlement. No admission of guilt from the city. Harlan keeps his badge, gets a desk job, no real punishment. Daniel's drained, financially, emotionally. That $15,000 barely covers legal fees. His migraines are worse. His boys still ask hard questions. Justice? Or just a pat on the head? The case ripples outward. Atlanta activists use it to push for reforms. Body cams mandatory, civilian review boards with teeth. In 2020, the city council votes. Body cams stay, but reviews remain internal. Half a win, half a dodge. Meanwhile, a 2021 DOJ report says black Americans are still 2.9 times more likely to face police force. Same old story, new numbers. Daniel's fight changes little for the system, but it changes him. He moves his family to a quieter suburb, takes fewer risks, keeps his head down. Survival, not triumph. Is that what justice looks like now? Zoom out. Daniel's one of millions. The Sentencing Project says 1 in 3 black men face some form of policing bias in their lifetime. Stops, searches, arrests, worse. So who's accountable? Cops like Harlan? Cities that shield them? Or us for shrugging it off? Think about this. Next time you see blue lights, will you feel safe or scared? Daniel knows his answer. What's yours? Now let's hear you. Did Daniel get justice? Or just a consolation prize? Drop your thoughts below. We're reading everyone. Like this raw tale? Hit that like button. Didn't vibe? Smack dislike. We're cool. Subscribe and ring the bell for more hidden tales on Judge It. Next week's story hits harder. Trust me. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Stay sharp. Keep questioning. See you soon.